as I was saying, so it was like, this is all good stuff. Keep this in. This is behind the scenes, BTS, the BTS.
BTS.
So it was protein isolate, so it was like, it was protein, it was the nicest protein I've ever ingested, but it did smell like someone just pressed the fucking mouthpiece of the bottle against an asshole. Not a disgusting asshole either, just like, it smells like an asshole, but that's what it tasted like.
Lovely.
There's some assholes I've been near. I wish it tasted a bit like pineapple. Unfortunately more ass than pineapple. Welcome to the General Banter Podcast. Stop moving that about. It's the Patreon exclusive. We didn't take any questions on the podcast yesterday, but we have a lot of questions here to work through. We've got videos, we've got different stuff. I'm actually going to just very quickly airdrop myself an important piece of culture, I believe. And it is, in fact, our boy Nigel Farage saying "up the Ra." Fantastic. Let me just let the computer speak to each other here. Open it. Certainly do open it. What a great place to start, I feel. So first, do you know what my initial thought when I seen this was, do you not have enough money? You fucking pig. He's like, I'll be on Cameo as well. Bro, do a job. The guy should be fucking busy doing racist stuff, whatever he does. And he's like, I can take time out of the day to do a couple of cameos. Also, who's doing a serious cameo from him? It's got to be all piss take cameos. Does it not? No one's being like, well, we're actually massive fans of Nigel Farage. Could you just say happy birthday to Janine, and also just quickly say blacks out for the crack. Anyway, let's watch this video. It's a screenshot. It's not going to be great quality, but it'll get the job done at the end of the day.
This message is for Brian Kelleher, Brexiteer, and I hope you have a...
Brian Kelleher, Brexiteer? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Provisional IRA. More like it.
Great birthday. This comes from your good friend Aidan. Now, it's a bit early in the day, so all I've got actually is coffee, but I hope you enjoy a few pints with the lads tonight. Up the Ra.
Yeah! Oh, fucking incredible.
Pints with the lads tonight. Up the Ra.
The timing is so clunky, just white guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up the Ra. Surely he's heard that before.
I'm sure he has.
I'm sure he has. But in typical fashion, I'm not too sure. I'm going on rumors here. I think Connor Keys knows this guy who either got the request or whatever. So he's from, the north. And Northern Irish people have a fantastic way of taking a thing and just kind of making it jovial, no matter how bad it is. Like, up a rat. Like, who was it the other night? Was it Kieran Bartlett said something? Or Paddy? And he was talking about someone who was like a mad... Or no, it was fucking... What's his tits there? The baldy guy. Why can't I remember his name? Ian. Fuck, I was looking at his poster 2 seconds ago. There's no only room for one ball cut in this fucking town. Know what I mean? You better get a fucking trip to Turkey, before you come around my fucking comedy club thing and you're fucking big dick. Know what I mean? Baldy bastard. I'm totally the guy who'd have the cheek to be like, this fucking baldy bastard. I'll be like, isn't it this fucking fat baldy cunt? And I look exactly the same. I look worse than the guy I'm talking about. But he was saying, how jovial that's become, and he knows like people who are big mad fucking loyalists, and they're like, up a Ra. They just say it like, happy days. Bought you a Subway, up a Ra. Like they just, and the same goes. I used to do material about it. The get her bucked. get her butt, like, and then you've got like Nico from Pride and Pinion, who's fucking Dutch. Just I don't even know if he quite knows what he's saying. Get her bucked, you know, like someone buys a 10 grand watch off him. He's like, "I get her bucked." Get her bucked, like break that down. Get her bucked. Get her home. Get your dick in there, and it doesn't matter what her is. Could be a car. Get her bucked. Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get her bucked, like. The more you say it, the more insane it sounds. I know, it's. I know the sort of sentiment behind it is like, fucking keep her lit, send her on, get her bucked, up her eye. It's all the same thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not even Northern Ireland. It's just Ireland in general. They've just got like 50 ways to say the one thing. Like I went to Tenerife there, and I did do Spanish in school. So I definitely can't speak it, but it could be like, oh, that means that's the fire station. What give it away? Fire ambulance. I can sort of pick things out, but everybody that you see, you're like, hola, hola, and I get more and more like Mexican with the accent, hola, when I see people. Walk around Belfast for 10 minutes. No one just goes, hello. How do you teach someone to fucking live here? Getting people from all around the world. What is crack, mate? How's the farm? Is she cutting? There's a million ways to fucking say hello. Someone should write a book. Saying hello in Ireland. Saying goodbye. A fucking just trilogy of books. Like Lord of the Rings. On how to say goodbye. In fact, Blind Boy did a podcast. He was trying to break down why people, on the phone be like, all right, bye, goodbye, see you, good luck. And it's just because, I think he's settling the fact that Irish people are mental. And that's it. I don't do it. Like, I think I might have learned this from Aaron McCann. You just go, fucking, I'm going to head on here. Gluck! You just slam the phone down. You don't do that anymore. Gluck! That's what you do. That gets you out everything. Fucking gluck! Right, let's delve into the world of these questions. I bought one of your specials in Nuts Corner Market. I think I got ripped off. Oh, you got ripped off? I didn't even know it was happening. When was the last time you were at Nuts Corner? Have you ever been to Nuts Corner?
When I was young, yeah.
It's weird as fuck.
Some spot.
I have talked about it before, but I was traumatized twice because the first one was a bunch of like sort of Asian, Middle Eastern looking dudes selling dinky donuts. Oh. And they had like a sort of awning out the front of their little stall, and it would fill up with rainwater. And the guy went, oh, fucking, and he poked the water out and it went all over me. And they were all, ha ha ha, like this. And I was like, oh, fucking knockabalic said all of you, I'm only 9. That was one trauma. And then the other one was, the fucking, sort of Eastern European dude selling like knockoff vodka. But he was also getting high on his own supply. And at some point, we were like, right, this is boring. We'll go back to the car. My mom was like, right, we're going to do whatever she was doing. Go and look at something else. You can wait in the car. And we were waiting in the car. And this dude who was selling the vodka just walked about 4 cars back and just pulled this big old Eastern European cock out and just pissed up against the side of someone's car.
Jeez.
And we were just in the back of our car like, oh my God. And I'll tell you exactly what fucking whip it was. This is the car my dad was rocking, right? This was the Tesla of its time. Oh shit. Where do you see this? Weapon. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. We were in the back of the Xantia.
Class.
We were fucking, and there was something weird. I think it had like air suspension or something, which my dad probably was like, yeah, you don't, it's like being on a boat. You don't feel any bumps. And you got in it and it lifted, so you got in.
Fuck.
And turned it on. It went, the front went up and then the back went up like this. Awful for handling, like, but my dad was like, oh, this is great. So we're in the back of that car and this guy's like, I need to go, give me a toilet break, and then just up the side of someone's Fiesta. Look at my big angry. It doesn't have to be full-blown sexual assault when you're that young. It can just be strange cock. He's a pissing cock. He's just like, I think for the swaying about now. I am hidden from all of people's eye lines except these 2 children in the car. Piss, 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 piss. I remember how violently he shoved it back in his jeans too. You know, I mean, it was like, no way you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the sort of 95% of my piss. We're slowing down, and we'll just do a couple of trickles. This guy was like, straight in. And I was like, bro, this guy pissed everywhere, I'm sure. All down his leg and whatever. And then back to selling. I mean, like, it's bad when you're selling like knockoff Glens. You know, like, you're not even like, it is Grey Goose. He's like, it is Glens. Wink, wink. It is Glens vodka, 100% pure nail polish. Glens vodka. Hurry, before I need another piss break on somebody's ladder. Sort of cars. Look at that car. Would you drive that?
Damn right.
Damn right, with that air suspension, man. Couldn't pull you out of bed, that. Yeah, my dad it was that colour too. My dad thought he was fucking Rick Ross rolling about in that fucking thing. Never kept the car cleaner in his whole career. Some yoke, all the same.
Class.
Ugly. That has to be a French car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ugly and crap. Ugly doesn't turn on. Look at that. I bet you if you got in it now, you'd be like, look at the interior, man, with the walnut. Damn, boy. Nice. I bet you it was nice too. There's the old fucking wagon.
Oh yeah.
Why? I don't hate that now. You know, I'm a fan of an estate. I don't hate that at all. In the fucking green. Jeez. Oh, this one's sunk down. Look at that. Sinking.
That's the job.
Bagged out, sir. You probably can do that with that car because it's like, it did have definitely like air suspension. It definitely went like when you turned it on. I thought it was dying the first time in our Jeep when it did that. Pulled up outside the house, turned it off.
No,
it's like, what the fuck, bro? Gonna die here. Anyway, what was I looking at? Oh yeah, Shine Presents, and then Gedzilla. That's pretty. What site is that? What's that? Imgur? How do you say that?
I think that's
Imgur?
Yeah.
Hey, Imgur.com. Colin Geddis, Gedzilla, and they've made is that a Pokemon?
That's Pokemon, yeah.
Who's that? Turtle Chew?
Blastoise.
Nerd! Yeah, this guy fucks. This guy fucks the bed out. Got a microphone there. He's got a Carhartt hat just on there, which I don't have that hat, but I would get it after looking at that. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Now, I don't know what this website is and why it's got no likes or comments or nothing. What is this site? GIFs? Just GIF City? Anyway, this is one of these sites like Reddit and, what was the other one? You're just too deep in the game. You know when people are sending you links to e-fucked and all, you're like, bro, you go YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Pornhub, and that's it. ASOS on your phone. That's fucking the height of it. Now that's a tiny pig. I'm into that now. Now look at all the size of that fucking pig. Oh, it's eating a wee breadstick. Oh, that's cool, isn't it?
It's cool.
It's not cute enough to stop me eating them though. I'll still eat the fucking face off it. I just eat the whole thing.
Few rashers.
Did we talk about that Liver King guy yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Did I mention it in the podcast?
Nope.
I gotta bring it up since we're reviewing shit online. This dude is out of his fucking...
Jacked.
Hey, it's Liver King. The guy's obsessed with, eating like raw fucking meats. And I mean, look at that. The guy, do you think he works out? I think the guy's probably on everything, but also eats just like some sort of just crazy. He'll say something like, hey, primals, or something. There he is. Why is there no sound on that bastard?
This is coming to an end. The first thing I want to share back, though, is I'm getting a few wise guys saying that I seem to be out of breath when I'm talking, and that maybe there's something wrong with me. Well, there is something wrong with me, and it's that I like to earn my food So I do push-ups before I eat because weak things break. So the first thing I'm gonna show you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, gets liver. Second thing I'm gonna show you is 3 lobster tails.
Weak things break. Who told him that when he was a fucking teenager? His dad, and then he left. Weak things break.
We got some fresh ceviche. We got another pile of fresh guacamole. Today we got some sea scallops. We got a pound of double bacon cheeseburgers. This is what liver.
This guy probably can't even shit in the toilet anymore. He's like, I have to lay my ass over a rock because it just keeps coming out and coming out and coming out. Also, there was yesterday, he was like,
5 poached eggs, and we got some concoction here with some maple syrup because we earned some carbs because we just worked out. This is what Liver King is having for dinner, for breakfast. Liver King out.
I want to go back to, there was one where he's like, we're eating our breakfast. And then he's like, this is what my child is eating. My oldest boy was 4 or something. He's like, he's going to have 9 poached eggs. He's going to have a bowl of guacamole. He's going to have a plate of bacon, 2 double cheeseburgers. And then he's absolutely going to shit himself to death and be dead at 12. But hey, it's worth it. Weak things break, you fucking pussy. Eat my goddamn guac. Very impressive physique, though. I mean, I would love to. I mean, the guy's eating raw liver, like. And today we're having testicle ceviche. Tell me what that actually is. You're having raw bollocks. Don't like make it sound better. Hey, today we're having testicle ceviche. Raw bollocks, mate. Today we're having fucking gonad souffle. Bollocks pie. Today we're having fucking testicle skewers. Bollock kebabs. The guy is Jack City though. Look at that. Fucking popping. As soon as I look at a person like that, I don't know why my thoughts go to, what height is he?
Oh, yeah.
Not weird?
Yeah.
Because if that guy was fucking 6'4", he would be, you know, Dwayne The Rock, fuck you in the mouth Johnson. But he's probably, you know, chances are,
5'4".
yeah, he's probably like, oh, I'm 5'5". Which is, you know, like, you know, that's, I mean, obviously I'm sitting here looking like a fucking melted candle, slobbering about this guy. But it's a different story when you're like massive.
Yeah.
And look like that, which I don't know, he just looks very, very stocky. But do you know what? Probably live longer, you know? He's holding a full liver there. Would you eat that? Depends.
Don't know.
Depends what the fuck's going on. Have you ever, like, one of my favorite dishes globally is in a little country restaurant near us. And they do chicken liver pate, and it's fucking absolutely 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite like dishes of all time from anywhere. And that's chicken liver though, and I know it's a lot of butter and a load of herbs and shit. But is chicken liver, is it really, it's nearly like beefy, it's that meaty. And I'm wondering, what do people eat? Is it cow's liver? Sheep's liver? What the fuck do they eat?
Don't know, just that. All of it.
Where'd that come from? I don't fucking know. I just work here. Slap it in the bag for you. But yeah, that looks fucking rank.
It does.
You know, Maureen went to her Chinese medicine person yesterday and they were like, blood makes blood. So, you know, get eating the black pudding, get eating all that shit. What's this guy making? Some sort of, I'm making testicle tartare. He's so violent too. He was talking. He goes, what we're going to do is we're going to eat the liver, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we're going to have fucking 8 pounds of cheeseburgers and bacon. And then we're going to have some bone marrow, which we're not even going to cook. And then he said this, we're going to scoop it out and stuff it in our gullet.
Ugh.
Calm down, man. Can this cunt go for dinner anywhere? Happy anniversary, sweetie. We're going to the butcher's. I got him to put out little 2 seats for us. We sit there. First course, we're just gonna stuff goddamn duck tits in our mouth. And then we got some fucking, this guy here he is eating raw. Is this raw liver? You dirty bastard.
Raw.
I mean, you're just losing a bit of pleasure, you know? Oh, did you hunt that yourself? See, that's me slagging him now.
Go. This is the most nutrient-dense, raw beef liver. The best thing to eat after you work out.
Beef liver.
Beef.
Does he eat the whole thing? Bit much, isn't it? I just feel weird after watching that now.
I don't know how that works. Does he not get some sort of poisoning? Unless it's like super, super fresh.
It might be super fresh.
But even still.
Maureen's, what would she be? Auntie? She'd be her mom's cousin, basically. And I think she worked in like, you know, virology or something. Like she literally, you know, obviously she's busy the last couple of years, like, but she literally worked in like infectious disease. That's what it was. Like infectious diseases, I think. I could be fucking totally making that up. No one's going to find out. But she was saying that like whatever number of food poisoning things was from liver.
Oh dear.
Like either uncooked or something, which is like a lot of cases come from liver. And this motherfucker's just... Maybe that's... I mean, the amount of meat that he's eating, maybe he's like, I gotta regulate this by having 24/7 diarrhea to get it out of my body. So I ate 15 burgers, guacamole. I overate guacamole one time because it was very tasty. And the next day, I shit my brains out.
Yeah.
Because it's just so like high in fat. Even though you're dipping fucking Doritos into it, and you're like, it's tasty as fuck, you know what I mean? Fucking liver's best thing. And then the next day I was like, just shit my brains out. And I was like, all right, obviously that's too much. I've hit the limit of how much fat we can take into our body here.
Yeah.
Do you ever see someone eat an avocado just with a spoon? Like it's a yogurt?
No.
Get out of my face, you know? Yeah, well, you're a vegan, I get it. Put a fucking Dorito in it. Don't just sit there. Like, I don't like when people are like, oh, I've got a Mexican burger and it's a burger with avocado in it. No thanks.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the only way you eat avocado is like dipping crisps into it. Every other form, even the avo toast with fucking eggs, could take it or leave it. Put it on the side. Don't give me the fucking mushy bread, man. Anyway, we haven't had one question yet. What's the funniest thing to happen to you when you were a student? Oh God. Fuck me. I don't know. There was like, I mean, I've talked about it before. The most standout moment was when we went out for the night and then we tried to sneak back into like a student village, which is where I was staying in Derry because it was my first year and I didn't know where to go and I had to go on about a week's notice. So people were like, we're sneaking back to the student village. And a girl in my class, Laura, tried to, you know, you needed a pass to get in, and she went to climb the fence and slipped and pulled both of her pinky fingers off on the fence. This is how we do. And our night fairly cheap. You know what I mean? I had to go out. There was chaos. She fucked blood all over the place. And everyone in my class was there and they were like, oh my God, it's terrible. And like about 10 or 15 minutes went by and she's grabbing people by the fucking scruff of the neck being like, you please go and find my finger. And we didn't say it, but we were thinking like, listen, it's fucking 2 a.m. It's pitch black and you lost it on a football pitch. Not happening, you know? So, yeah. And after about 10 minutes of her bleeding out, I was like, did anyone ring an ambulance? And I was like, I'll do it. So I stepped outside with my fucking Sony Ericsson that went like this. And I was like on the phone to the thing being like, hey, girl here lost the old thingy things. I was smoking outside now. Aye. Did you cut them or? Nah, they're off. Do you need an ambulance? Yeah. We're all hammered. So she's had a couple of drinks herself. It's bleeding out pretty quick. Yeah. Just, you know, when you're the still of night and I'm looking through this circular window into our kitchen, everyone's going fucking bananas. Yeah. Whenever you're ready there, bring, yeah, it's a disaster. Yeah. Looks like it's been a murder, but so, yeah. Anyway. But, and then that girl got an extension on her coursework and then got a first and everyone was like, fucking not fair at all. What's your fingers got to do with making a video? Get fucking stuck in. What other funny things happened to me? I can't remember. I've kind of blocked it out. Was uni like super fun for you or were you just like...
It was class.
Was it? Yeah, fair enough. You see, I just fucking went.
Yeah.
And I think I definitely should have went away. Like, I think you gotta go away if you're going to uni.
I think so as well.
Yeah, I think you got, and like no one really fucking. I mean, looking back now, I'm like, no one really told me what you sort of have to be encouraged a little bit. Whereas like my parents, I was like, will I go to uni? You know, like, will I go? Where will I go? Well, why would you, just go there? It's just there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I needed someone to be like, because they didn't go. Well, my mom went to university late when she was an adult, like, but I needed somebody. I didn't know anyone. Even no one in my family was like, oh, your cousin's in fucking Liverpool. There was none of that. So like, I needed somebody to nearly be like, right, you should fucking go away. Just even if you fucking drop out after, you gotta go somewhere. So yeah, I just last minute went to McGee and then was just doing the stuff, and then it was over. Like, it was weird. Derry's such a crap town to be at uni in. You go to all, like freshers, you go to all the bars, and then you're like, are we going home at the weekend or what's the crack? Anyway, depression. Would you ever have a bash at McCann's furnace workout? I probably wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because it didn't work at all for him. What was he looking? He was like, his mate or America was like, oh, you do this and the fucking fat burns off you. This guy was walking for 40 minutes every day and getting a cold shower and then eating in a fucking 8-hour window thinking the weight was going to drop off him. I could do enough damage in 1 hour. That would be like fucking a week's calories. Now we're on the gain train at the minute. I'm doing some real training. I've got some real supplements and I've got some real fucking directions as to how to fucking eat. Which is why I will be getting a budgeon today. Protein in it. McCann's furnace workout like what? You're getting in a cold shower and you think you're going to come out with a 6-pack? Are you out your mind? I tell you, out of your mind. Do you know what I looked up last night? How to make an infrared sauna.
Oh.
You can do it. You can do it yourself. You basically buy a grow house, which could be used for tomatoes or cannabis. And it's basically like a sort of pop-up shed. It's quite big. It's like, if you could imagine like the size of like 2 portaloos, but obviously you just have plants standing up in it. And what you do then is you erect that and then you get a shoe rack and then you can buy these like lamp things with a clamp on it and then you buy infrared bulbs and it is a dry sauna, so it's like you do all that and put a wee wooden seat in it and just fucking sit there till you're boiling, and that's it. $400 you can do it for. Not bad.
Sorry.
And then the police will call around and be like, on the infrared there, we can see that your whole garage is lit up. And I'll be like, it's an infrared grow house for ganj. Calm down. I mean, I know all the police. Did I talk about getting pulled over by the police?
No.
Oh my God. Clip this. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
I told you about it in real life.
Yeah.
So this is a cute little story. I'm coming out of Dungannon, the closest town to us, and not proud of it, but you got to go to the fucking Tesco's at some point. And I'm driving, and there's a wee bit of roadworks, right? So I have right away because there's no roadworks on my lane, and there's a Skoda, behind this bit of roadworks, and they flash, and I go sweet, and I keep going, and I lean forward like this to make sure I snuck through the gap. I waved like this, and the cop obviously went, "There's your man there, Colin Geddis," and so he must have turned immediately and followed me. And they followed me for a good fucking 10 minutes. And about 5 minutes into that, I was like, oh shit, there's cops behind me. Is it the same cops? And I'm looking, and then eventually the blue light goes on. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I pull in at the side of this country road, and the guy goes, sorry, sir, could you pull into the bottom of this driveway? Just a bit of a safer place to stop. And I went, yeah, now if I was a real criminal, I'd be out of this bitch. I'd be like, yeah, I'll pull over there and just take off. But anyway, I pulled into someone's driveway. And he comes up, and this guy looks like me, okay? Fat cunt, beard, no hair. And I'm allowed to say whatever I want because I could have you fired, right? Pulls me over. Hi, sir, can I get your fucking license? Looks at that, obviously is like, it is him. Here you go. Give me 1 second, sir. Goes back to the car. probably to his partner, who's some idol, and he's like, "I fucking is empty." He's on the Patreon, and walks back over and goes, "Do you know where I'm pulling you over today, sir?" And I was like, "Go on." And he's like, "Yeah, your vehicle has been reported as stolen." And I went, "Fucking fantastic." Now, not for a second did I believe that he was lying, because when we went to tax this fucking car after we bought it, the guy before had registered as fucking disabled or something. You're like, "Yeah, this car doesn't exist." And I'm like, "Fantastic. It's been pieced together in Lithuania and shipped over here." So me to buy the fucking stolen car. That's what I was thinking. And then he goes, "Just 1 second," and he went back to the car, and they came back again. He's like, "I'm only fucking pulling your tits, mate. I knew it was you. I was supposed to go to your show on fucking last week and I got cancelled." And I was like, "You can't." Do you know what amazes me? What if he'd have went, "Could you pull over, sir?" And I went, "What the fuck are you pulling me over for? You fucking pigs." And then the tone, and then he was like, would he have to like go like, "All right, mate, I'm only pulling you over because I recognised that it was you, but that's no way to speak to an officer." And then it would get all serious. And I'm like, "Well, you're fucking wasting your time. You're fucking about around here. It's like hot fuzz. You've nothing to do till the zombies get here."
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. And we talked back and forth. I was like, I was kind of relieved. I was like, right, okay, so at least I'm not going to jail. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And like, in fairness, his like partner in the car, she was, a lady a bit older than him. And maybe his ma, don't know. And she was like, "Will you fucking get in the car? He's not your mate." And I went, what she said. on your go there. And but then he's like, "Yeah, that's all good, no, take it easy." And then I just fucking bend it out of there. "Take it easy." And I was like, and he was like, "Oh," talking about the Jeep, obviously. And I was like, yeah, half joking, but yeah, I fucking thought it wouldn't surprise me if it was stolen after the trouble we had trying to tax the fucking thing. V8 and all, is it? And I was like, "Oh, it is all right. Nice, some job, no, all right, fucking take it easy." And then I just went out of there like a goddamn spaceship. So that was my run-in with the law, but that's happened twice. Police have just come up the driveway into the house being like, guy literally was like, "Someone told me you lived here."
What?
Like, what a fucking... But I'm sort of like, am I hidden in plain sight now? That's Colin Geddis, he lives up there now, and that now's the time to get the fucking weed growing in the garage. Now's the time, because I'm all mates with him. I'm driving through fucking Armagh on the way to Dublin. Cop car pulls up, 2 guys with masks. Guy goes like this out the window. The cops like, am I just friendly with them now? I can be like, I can start driving drunk and all. Pull you over. "Sir, could you step? I got Sony himself, there he is. Big mad bastard. No, where you come from tonight?" "I just up there, I'm absolutely fucking hammered." "No bother, sure you only live up there, we know that. You know that shed with the fucking roof's glowing on it?" "I don't know, I can grow a lot of tomatoes, so mate, I need a pish." Fucking disaster, like. So weird. Friend of the cops. But then Maureen was like, "You just forget police are people, don't you?" And you're like, "I don't want people. I want drones. I want to know where I stand.
Yeah.
I don't want to be getting pranked by the cops. For fuck's sake." Have you seen the Drake memes floating about? Drake, the type of guy that covers his homie's eyes from behind and says, "Guess who?" Yeah, I've seen a lot of these. Are you aware of these yourself?
Yeah.
It seems as those like, "You're a bird. Your bird's the type of girl. Blah, blah, blah." Some of those are funny too. Drake memes trended. Drake the type of guy who plug his nose before doing a cannonball. Drake the type of guy who lick his fingers before turning the page of an iPad. Drake the type of guy who covers homie's eyes and say, "Guess who?" Drake the type of guy to surprise his homies by a visit from the Tickle monster. Drake the type of guy who set an alarm for 11:11 to make a wish. Maureen. Although her birthday is the 11th of the 11th, so she can get away with it slightly. Drake the type of guy who slapped himself during an argument with his girl. Yes. Drake the type of guy to flush the toilet after farting. Oh, that's good. That's good. Nah, I like that. That's the best one. fucking hell. Have you ever tried a bit somewhere you thought would murder, but due to the crowd being shit, it just never hit like it should have, or the opposite, had a bit that's not great, but due to crowd interactions? I've had both. I've had a bit where I thought it was an absolute banker and I went and tried it a bunch of times and I'm like, okay, maybe not, just me. And then I have had bits which I thought were like, say a joke had like 2 parts to it. It was like the first bit of a joke leading to a second bit of a joke, and then you realise the first bit of the joke is the funniest bit and you drop the second bit and then you realise, oh shit, that's a closer. Nearly, that's a bit that I could close a set with, and I've had that several times. Something that I just thought was, a bit of generic stuff working out to be, very strong bit. But yeah, you can have a bit that's like a new bit and it's dead fresh and it kills like 2 or 3 times, and then you just go and do a gig with a crowd or a bit quiet or something, or it depends what time of night you go on. It's a whole load of factors. One of the reasons why I hate stand-up is, in fact, all of those extra factors. But I don't hate stand-up, you know what I mean? The annoying bits of it are like, right, there's absolutely no consistency whatsoever here. Like, you could do some shitty gig that you agreed to do because your friend's running it, and you do it in front of a crowd and you don't get anything, and you're like, bro, I did a fucking arena last week. That actually happened to me last year, or the year before. I think I did the SSE and then I went down south to do a string of gigs, and one of them was like Mayo or something, and I remember just doing this gig being like, what the can you hear me? Like, that's sort of vibes I was getting. Nightmare. First summer job was working on the Dodgems in Bundoran. Loved it, worked all day, then go to the Peppies or Holyrood disco at night. Disco! What's your first summer job? Would you want your son to do the same when it's his turn? I mean, that's literally the fucking Dodgems guy there. Fanny. Cash. Fanny. Beaver. Only he's in Bundoran, so it's more like... what sort of accent do they have up there? Blurt. So, I mean, I've had very few jobs my entire life. I mean, the first illegal job I was doing was like sorting out pallets for like some fucking family member who like bought and sold pallets, and I would just be like sorting them out. It's probably why I'm so fucking hench right now. But I wasn't even of legal working age. I think it was like 14 or 15. And then where else did I work? Curry's, and then I worked in like the zoo. I've had very, very few jobs. And then I've just pretty much been a professional entertainer since the age of about 23. Mr. Charisma. What do I want my son to do? I don't know. None of those things. Might just keep him at home. Just, one of those nerds. Keep him dead smart. No, you don't have to work, man. Will you fucking keep your head in them books? And then turns around years later like, Dad, I just sold some software for 40 billion. I'd be like, good lad yourself. Get your old dad, the painter. Take us out to a little holiday. Can I buy merch with the £100 card from the government? Maybe. I don't know. How does it work? Is there a number on it? Or is you just beep it?
Yeah, just beep it. Oh, it's chip and pin, I think. Is
it chip and pin?
I think so.
Is it? Oh, it has to be like high street, does it? You got to go out to the shops. Unfortunately not. Although we are going to get... I'm actually going to get one of those little fucking card readers for like merch. For like Limelight gigs and stuff. We also have a Limelight gig coming up near Halloween. You heard it here first, ladies. Oh God. I'm doing the fucking Dr. Evil. you have to do Austin Powers though. What would it take? Not much. Glasses?
Not much.
Just fucking
Take out an old velvet suit.
Dig it out. Back in the day when I used to, what do you call a guy? I forget the name. Now it's ruined the joke. What do you call a person deals at a casino? It's like a French word. Croupier? Did they make that up? Hold on a second. I might have made up a Frenchness. Yeah. It's a film with your man in it.
Damn.
It's actually not a bad film. If I remember correctly. Croupier? Who's this bitch? There's someone in that was in another film and she got her tits out and I was very... Like she was from like ER or something and she got her tits out and I was like, damn, wasn't this... out of context nudity.
Yeah.
Like, you were in another thing. and now you got your tits out. What? Cast. Let me find that out. Cause I'm a pervert, bitch. Was it her? Alex Kingston. What was she in? She was in ER or something, wasn't she? Anyway, she pops the fucking Maltesers out, and I was like, Also, out of place nudity. What do you call your girl? Lake Placid tits. The girl that was in Emmerdale appeared in this. Yeah, this movie here. We can't show this for obs, but she was in Emmerdale 1 minute, and then the next minute she's just getting pipe on the side of a beach. You know.
Damn.
You know, we're perving over here. General Banter perv session. You can't do this with men. Do you know what I mean? You can't be like, do you remember your man was in Neighbours? Well, he's in another thing now with his cock out, and you can't just go through the archive of cocks. No, there's no market for cocks. You know what I mean? Do you want to see the girl who used to be in Emmerdale's tits? Oh yeah, I'll look. Lovely. I like it. What's the worst thing someone in your company or has done in your company? There's not a lot of staff. A mate at uni once proudly left a house party and thanked the host for a game of hide the shite. Oh, I thought you were talking about murders and stuff. They looked everywhere that night but found no shite, so put it down to him bluffing. A week later, one of them was getting some butter for their toast. They found said shite. He had emptied out the tub of Flora, hid the shit under it, and waited for his plan to come to fruition. I mean, he's not enjoying his night, is he? You know? Where's Dave? Guy's fucking beads of sweat coming off his head, trying to scrape back the lure pack and turd in it. You would smell shit a mile away if it was in your fridge. How weird is that?
That's strange.
Bro, don't ever be in my presence. That's what I would say. We're not friends anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Creep. What's the worst thing I've ever... I don't know. I've had questions like this before, and I'm like, I just remember being at like crazy parties where like all sorts of shit were, you know, I remember standing at it was like a mate of mine, didn't even go to our school or something, went to some do somewhere, and you're just like standing there with a pint, like, is that bad? No, good crack and all. And a guy ran out behind him, and as he ran, smashed a bottle on the wall and chased the guy around, and we were just like, wow. Crazy. I don't remember anything particularly wild. Obviously, I've talked about this before. Being at parties, you know, people someone dead shite on the floor. You know, the usual mess where people are fucking boking all over the place and skidding about in it. Just the usual stuff. Project X. What did you think of Dave Chappelle's new special? My least favourite, but still the GOAT. Yeah, I didn't take to it that much. People are. I mean, there's a certain level of brainwashing to people going like, he's the GOAT. And people go, yeah, brilliant. And then what do you think of his new special? Best one yet. Not really, but it's still Dave Chappelle, so you're going to just take it all in. You want the full body of work. I don't think it was the best one. Did we talk about this? Yeah. You know, people say Sticks and Stones. I don't even think that's the best one of the 6 that he put out. I think Age of Spin is probably the best one. But if you're talking about like consistency and like great bits, Sticks and Stones had its fucking, you know, amazing bits, and then a few fucking, you know, you're like, all right, bro, wrap it up. Mainly the trans stuff. Even the trans stuff in Sticks and Stones, you're like, fucking, in about 10 years, Dave Chappelle's gonna be like, in fact, whenever he did it on that acceptance speech for the Mark Twain thing, now that I have your attention, I'd like to tell you something, I'm gay. Maybe he's just mad into the trans and he can't say it. You know, he's got a wife and kids, and he's just like, listen, I'm trying to prove a point to these trans ones so they accept me, and then the next minute some girls would fuck me in the ass. If NI had its own version of Mount Rushmore, where would it be and who would be on it? I was going to ask the same question, but not NI specific. Mount Rushmore of comedy, who should be the 4 GOAT people to feature on it? Oh, God. If it's from NI, it's just me lying sideways the whole way across the fucking... No, I have no idea. NI's tough. I mean, if you're talking about like, you know, the greats, like people who have done it for fucking ever, and we're doing it to sort of pave the way. It's basically Rory Woods and Paddy Raff. You know what I mean? If you, it'd be like, you know, I'm sure Keelty would be there. That's a cert. Frank Carson. You've only 4 here. You've only 4 to pick from. Big Tim. And fucking Colin Murphy. I don't know who else is from here. Jimmy fucking what's his tits there? That I don't know. It's tough because you're picking 4 of a possible like 6. You know, if you're talking about Northern Ireland. Am I missing anyone? Tough. Now, best of all time. People to feature on it.
Michael McIntyre.
Mackers.
Peter Kay.
Jim Owen. Jim Owen has to be one of the best comedians from Northern Ireland of all time. Like, funny as fuck. He's one of those guys like made his career in a different place, so people tend not to remember him even as a comedian from here because he's like globally big. Because it's a different time that, you know, there was a time when you would go up through TV and all, and you are a bigger star. Now it's like, oh, this guy's class, but he just fucking makes TikToks or whatever. Not that there's, but anyway, best 4 of all time. Jesus Christ. I mean, that is so tough. Like, it depends what you're after, you know, like, because you have to start bringing into like, you know, who's like culturally significant. Richard Pryor, obviously, because every fucking black comedian that came out after him sounded like him. People say, oh, Eddie Murphy, one of the best ever. And you're like, it's not hard to be great when you're just pretty much copying Richard Pryor. He's definitely in there. Probably Dave Chappelle would be up there for like the things that he did, you know, the sort of comeback story that he's had. And then you're fighting it out with like fucking George, like what do you like? You know, Bill Hicks was massively important. Anyone that kind of like fucks the set, like Bill Hicks came along and you watch it now and be like, it wasn't the funniest shit of all time. And you're like, yeah, but there was a tsunami of comedians who thought they were Bill Hicks after that. He was like one of the first comedians to be not a clown, you know what I mean? Like he was like cool, he was more like a rock star, which is why I got into him, to be honest. You know, you what I had experienced up to that was like Lee Evans running around sweating all over the place, and then this really cool guy doing these fucking like real political rants. Who else? Yeah, I mean, there's tons of really funny comedians, but if you're talking about like the greatest of all, you have to think about the ones who made a big impact. I mean, you could go right back to like Lenny Bruce and go, oh, he was really important because he was kind of doing stand-up. People didn't really know what stand-up was. He was getting arrested for indecency for the things he said. Now, the man dropped N-bombs like he fucking had a hole in his pocket, but so it would probably be like, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, someone like Bill Hicks, and then the triple OG Cosby. I don't know. You go on all day. You'd need like a top 10 maybe. But you know, it's like, then you get comedians, and you know, you're sitting around people going like, oh, someone of my generation would look at like Patrice O'Neill and be like, this guy's fucking phenomenal. Or like Dave Attell, where it's just really silly. But I don't know. You could talk about it all. That could be its own podcast. You should do that.
Yeah.
The goats of all goats. Now we're talking. What are your top 5 picks from M&S? Personal favorite is the ham wrap cheese. No, that's disgusting, Michael. Why is that? I tell you something though, you go to that one in Sprucefield, what the fuck is that now?
Oh my god.
You got like a goddamn sashimi bar.
I know.
I would pick up a wee box of sushi like I would normally get, and it was like, oh, this is like yellowfin tuna with fucking it's like £27 for 4 bits.
Epic.
This is actually octopus and testicle ceviche. Fantastic. It's great though. You can taste the wine.
Class.
You can sample wine. That's how much they trust these Lisburn Protestants. You know what I mean?
Epic.
I'm not going to get hammered anywhere else in the world. You'd be like, where are you going tonight? I want to fucking Marks and Spencer's. Get a packet of fucking ham wrapped cheese and just stand on that wine tap. Get hammered. I like the sushi. I like, you know, there was at one point when I was going like super trying to be all protein keto, and I was just getting the 2 boiled eggs on spinach. The sushi's decent if you're in a rush. That's it. I can't think of anything else, but that new place is unreal. Are there any comedians that aren't funny in real life but murder on stage, or vice versa? Some absolute funny cunt in real life who just can't put an act together. Both. There are definitely guys who I'm not that funny in real. I'm not that funny on stage. Either way, not that funny. Are there any comedians that aren't that? Yeah, there's definitely guys who have like a lot of jokes and the jokes kill on stage, but off stage they're not exactly fucking life of the party. You probably get that a lot more than you get the other one. What I've witnessed a good bit is like, you know, my on stage persona isn't really a persona at all. You know, I don't think so anyway. I think it's probably, you know, it's just me saying this stuff. And what I've noticed, some absolute funny cunt in real life, but just can't put together an act. Well, everyone knows someone who's like funny, who's not who couldn't do stand up. That's for sure. What I've witnessed is a lot of people who I know that they're weird and funny in an original way, but they haven't really done stand up long enough to be comfortable enough to be the way that they should be. Instead, they're going like, you know, I'm online, I'm doing all these funny things, and I whistle there for no reason. You know, I'm quite experimental, you know, kind of alternative. And then they do go on stage and they're like, right, now that I've seen these other guys do stand up, I have to do stand up the way they do it. So you get some guy who's like real obscure and fucking weird trying to be like a regular stand up, which is totally fine if you've got like a ton of jokes. So I've witnessed that quite a bit. Boring comedy talk. Since you're a man that's keen on grappling, what's your opinion on Gordon Ryan, a boy whose grappling skill and prowess is only surpassed by his cuntiness and whining voice? I can't deny the man's prowess, but fuck me, hey, what a route. Yes, that's from Bad Enough. You won't know who Gordon Ryan is, but he's probably the best grappler of all time. Oh. And he does have a whiny little voice, and he is very, very cocky, but not in an entertaining way like McGregor, like in a sort of obnoxious kind of weird way. And also it's jiu-jitsu. But like there's a gym in New York, Henzo Gracie's, and one of the coaches there is called John Danaher, and he's kind of Australian, but he just has the tail end of an accent. And he's like, you know, they call it the Danaher Death Squad, so everyone who trains with him is like fucking elite grappler. And he's been on Joe Rogan and all. He's a fucking insufferable cunt. So you've got this guy who's like thinks he's Yoda. You know, like the essence of grappling is that you have to become the mats. And and everyone sits around him like, the guy always wears a rash guard. Like there's pictures of him at like people's wedding, and he's wearing like tuxedo pants and a fucking rash guard, and then a sideways like Samuel L. Jackson Kangol hat. And you're like, stick to the jiu-jitsu, man, because everything else in your life is a mess. And then his student is like Gordon Ryan. I don't know, it's weird, but you can choke boys now. Tell you that. But enjoying Dave Grohl's new book on Audible. I know you said you don't read much. Thanks for outing me as a tard. But you might like that. Yeah, Maureen's listening to it at the minute. I don't know. Like I have said I don't physically read, but somehow I absorb a lot of information from various sources. I just don't process things well when I read them. if I listen to them, I'll dictate it right back to you. Are you going to get any more of the pink and orange beanies for your merch store? Yes, winter is coming. We're going to get fucking thousands of them. I have enough patches there to fucking cover the whole building. Can Niall please explain what platform he uses to invest in crypto? Also, if it's not too personal, what has he put his money in? His ass?
Oh.
What platform do you use?
I use crypto.com,
Wow.
which sponsor Aston Martin in the F1.
Oh, damn.
And but you can buy stuff for PayPal now directly.
Oh.
If you're you're just getting into it, probably just go that way. But Ethereum
Ethereum to the
that's
death.
that.
Ethereum. Very cool. There, that's all we needed to know. I thought the guy was going to be like, if it's not too personal, look at her tits, man. If it's not too personal, could you tell me exactly how much profit you've made? If it's not too personal, could you screenshot your fucking bank statement? We're back at it.
Gallagher, Brexiteer, so all I've got actually is coffee, but I hope you enjoy a few pints with the lads tonight. Up the rah!
Fucking tremendous. Look at her tits, man. Again, we keep coming back to them. I'm into it. Yes. Sound like someone off Undateables. I like the tits. Yes, I like it. What do you think of Farage saying anything for £73? What the fuck? Is that how much he's charging on Cameo? I see. People have asked me before, like, are you on Cameo? And I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? I don't have time to record goddamn podcasts sometimes. It's just so fun. Do you know why I don't do it? Because I care about you people. I don't want to brainlessly steal your money and go, hey, shout out to fucking Brian on his 35th birthday. Your friends have said, remember the stag do? You know what happens to hookers? Ibiza stays in Ibiza. Shout out to your wife Tracy and all. Anyway, take it easy and all. It's fucking. I would do like one a month.
I'll do it
for 15 grand. That's how we should do that. Maybe that's how you do cameos. Just roast them. Just do really evil ones.
There's definitely a market for that.
Who's this stupid bitch turning 50? All right, here we go. James, you fucking sex rapist here. You absolute sex terrorist. Have a good fucking communion. Or whatever. There's a guy in that fucking... I was in a supplement shop earlier, and I don't know why I thought of this just there now. Guy was in with his dad. Guy's 12. And he's like, is that the best stuff to take for about it? And then the guy that works there, Jack said, he was like, what's it for? Like, I don't know, just get fucking pubes and get bigger. He's like, you'd be better off just eating...
Yeah, too young.
Beef. What the fuck are you doing? Thoughts on those people who were trying to cancel Dave Chappelle's transphobic comments in his new special and trying to remove it off Netflix? Surely there should be an artistic freedom of speech, so to speak, especially when it's clearly a comedy special and not comments he had been caught making privately. I think this is just another case of cancel culture and people trying to get offended for the sake of it. Thankfully, Netflix are standing their ground and have stated, well, we paid them 20 million. They're not going to take it away. And they won't be removing it. It's just people, it's just talentless people trying to like gain power. What's the end game for the woke people? I don't want to hear that. It might be transphobic. Like, I do comedy and I'm a big fan of freedom of speech. To the point where I'm like, you gotta let someone be, unless they're like violent. Like hate speech is kind of like whatever. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like, it's the actions that come off the back of it that are the scary part. But I'm like, almost to the point where I'm like, why can't someone be fucking openly racist or something? You just don't, you don't have to deal with them at all. If you think the opposite, you know what I mean? It's like, I always talk about that gay cake thing. I sort of think if you own a business, you can have whatever fucking, you can choose to serve whoever you want. Same as a nightclub, they let in whoever they want. So it's one of them things. It's just like, what's the end? Do you stop everything that's remotely offends you? And then what happens? What happens if you just cancel it all? What happens if you get everything cancelled that might relate to you and get you a bit triggered and make you offended? That's me settled now. Now I can sell my candles in peace. Am I talking shit? I'm sort of, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't think it's like, oh, someone says something, so he doesn't have the right to perform stand-up comedy ever again.
I was watching.
It's like,
some comedian said,
don't watch it.
Like I can't remember who it was, but they were just like, it just goes in cycles. And they were saying like it was like the 80s or 90s was super woke.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of died down.
But it's almost like, how stupid are you? Because, you know, we've had a, you know, dirty song fucking 15 years ago, and people are like, this is an outrage, the kids shouldn't be listening to it. And then, you know, we get used to that level, and then the goalposts move again, and then there's like fucking got a wet ass pussy, everyone's fucking up in arms about that. And then now it's a fucking, you know, you play it and you got a load of 14-year-olds dancing at a fucking school disco. You know, you catch up with whatever the fucking limit is. Then you play that song from fucking, you know, 100 years ago, some blues song, and just like, bounce on my cock and give you the clap. And you're like, it's been around forever. Dirty comedy and edgy comedy has been around forever, and people just, if you're getting offended at comedy, someone should straight away be just like, oh, you're a thick person. And it's like low hanging fruit for the woke people.
Yeah.
You know, it's the most obvious to be like, oh, he's really famous and he said a thing about trans. You could fucking go into the depths of Twitter and all these fucking, you know, white supremacist groups and all these fucking anti-whatever. Like, there's loads of actual harmful places where people are being whatever, racist, transphobic, fucking whatever. Hatred towards women. Shout out the incels. You can find actual people doing harm, and you're like, it's so lazy to just like, I'm just gonna sit here and whatever appears in front of me, I'm gonna be raging about. Oh, Dave Chappelle, I'm raging about you now. Lazy. It's just lazy. I've had trans jokes. I've had trans people in the front row of my show pissing themselves out of whatever tube or hole they have at my trans bits. Bro, I'm the fence rider. I get away with it all. Just right down the middle. What's your favourite movie? I talked absolute shit there. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Say whatever you want. If you don't like what you're hearing, you can't sit there and be like, oh, I fucking listened to that Dave Chappelle and I'm offended. Give me back all the money that I paid to see it. You did nothing. You paid a tenner a month for like infinite amount of media on Netflix or something, and you went in there probably like, let's see what he has to say. I didn't like that. You're a dickhead then. You know what I mean? Like, if someone went, oh, he says some stuff about trans people, and you're like, I don't know if I want to hear that, I'd be triggered. Don't listen to it. You know? It's like, don't go in there. It's like going, don't stand on this rake, it's gonna hit you in the face. Bang. You bastard. Who sells rakes that hit you in the face? I don't know. I just don't give a fuck. But then I've heard other people say, like, in reality, who is pissed off? Sometimes you could be like, oh, the everyone's really pissed off. And you're like, no, it was one person that was pissed off and it got retweeted by like a bunch of fucking media outlets. And you're like, it's not like 80% of the people. It's like 8 people. It's fucking, and they're probably at it all day. I mean, look at the comments on my fucking YouTube. You get the same people giving me shit every day, and you're like, would you ever get off the internet and blow your brains out already? Jesus Christ. Would you ever play rugby again? No. No, I don't think so. It just doesn't interest me. I'd rather go after more solo sports like tennis or jiu-jitsu. I couldn't be arsed with it. I couldn't be arsed with the fucking all the shit. Anyway, Thomas Boyd, final question. When are you going to buy yourself the Rolex Explorer post SSE gifted to yourself? I don't know. I still don't know where I sit with like luxury watches, because I do love watches, but then every time I look at like a watch and I go, that's really nice, and it costs a lot of money, I'm like, you definitely do other shit with that. Tits again, love it. You know?
Yeah.
Because we work in this world and you see gear and whatever, and you see like cars, you know, you see a lot of shit and you're like, what the fuck would I spend that money on a watch for? So that another dude looks at me in a fucking cafe and goes, nice. Having said that, I did see a modified, let me see, Rolex Explorer 2 mod green. Someone had changed the fucking dial to like a green thing. Probably can't find it now. Yeah. I can't fucking find it, Pat. Well, that was fruitless. But yeah, somebody had taken the Explorer and give it like an army green dial, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect watch. That's my watch right there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe someday. But then maybe it's more exciting to fucking think about than actually have. That's the way things go, isn't it? Man, all I want my whole life is a Porsche, and then you get one, you're like, that's expensive. So you got an electric car? Fuck. I don't know. I don't really get. I'd rather just go on holiday for fucking 3 weeks. But I don't know. I'll certainly have a nosy. What do you think of that? Oh, wait a minute. Is that a fucking... What is that? What do you think of that watch?
Nice.
Do you like the white dial or the black dial?
Black.
Yeah, me too. People go absolutely bonkers for the white one though. The white one's about $2,000 more.
Is it?
Yeah, it's more sought after. Fantastic. But yeah, I love that black one there. I'd love that. See, if I could make one change, I would take all the numbers off that wee bezel there and just have it steel. That's what I would do. Anyway, we're getting in some real nerdy chat. I mean, fuck it. There's an old faker there. $220. Voyager. It's nearly an Explorer. But yeah, that's about the height of it, guys. What did we talk for? 1 hour, 7 minutes? Fuck my taint. We're going to get the fuck out of here. We will be back next week. Our medium today is to work on a little bit of a special there for the Patreon. So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. Not sure who the guest is going to be just yet. We should start booking more guests in, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Anyone will do it. That's how lazy I am. I'm pretty sure I could get anyone that I wanted. Eamon Holmes. You know? Frank Mitch.
That's it, really.
Janet Devlin's manager keeps messaging me. I need to get back to her. I should just be like, hey, just land down. Trying to organise shit around here. Anyway, cheers for listening, guys. Let me know who your Mount Rushmore of comedians are. I'm going to put that up on the Patreon, actually. We'll see you next Tuesday, guys. Cheers for listening. ColinGeddis.com for merch and Ticketmaster for the SSE tickets. That's coming up. And keep an eye out for our Halloween gig. We'll do a Halloween gig. Big live podcast. Lots of videos. We'll have to also find a platform that we can upload video to where we can show whatever we want. Might be Vimeo. Not sure yet.
Nope.
See you later, guys. Bye.